Hey again, welcome to my little show. We're on the third episode now, and I really think this one's going to be the best so far. The first episode was just kind of a broad introduction. Second one ended up just being a vlog, and I'm really sorry for that, but the only thing that happened between the first and the second episodes was my vacation, so there you go. But even though I can't say much for the content of those episodes, I think there's a visible improvement from the first episode to the second. I mean, I figured out I need to speak louder, be more articulate, be more succinct and to the point. There was also some technical improvements, you know. I made some lower thirds graphics and I incorporated pictures and videos too. That's good. I also made some improvements behind the scenes. I streamlined the recording process and actually made an outline the second time as opposed to the first time where I just ad-libbed everything. And now for the third episode, I actually wrote out the whole script so everything would be a lot more polished. Also this week, I'm finally going to start getting into the stuff I was really hoping to do with this show, which is to start working on projects and showing you step by step how I did them so you can try doing the same thing yourself. So let's get into it. The first thing that happened... The first thing that happened this weekend was my beer finished carbonating. Gotta say, this one came out pretty good. It's nice and light and goes down smooth, so I think I'm gonna have to chalk this one up as a winner. This coming weekend I'll brew my next batch, which is gonna be a Scottish ale. And once that one's finished, my Christmas sampler is gonna be all done, so that'll be awesome. Also this weekend, we filmed another scene for the web series A One-Up Kind of Life. This scene took place at the Strafe Gaming Lounge in Fuquay Arena, North Carolina, and it dealt with the girls' team that's in the series. I'd never been to the Strafe before, but it was a pretty cool place, so anybody that lives in the Fuquay Arena area should definitely check that one out. But now let's get to the meat of the episode. Finally got a chance to install the winter flowers in my yard, and I recorded a step-by-step guide of the project for anyone looking for advice on doing the same thing in their own yard. The first step is to pull out the old flowers which, in the Zone 7 climate that I live in, won't live through the winter, even if they look fine now. Next, rake up all the leaves and garbage in the bed so you're left with pure soil. Add a few handfuls of fertilizer. The best kind is a bag of vegetable fertilizer because it has micronutrients, but any mix of 10-10-10 will be fine. Now till the bed. If you have a large flower bed, you can use a gas-powered tiller, but for a small bed like mine, I just use a shovel. Do it 2 or 3 times to make sure the fertilizer is mixed in well. Adding tulip bulbs to the bed is optional, but I like them. Plant these before the flowers. The trick is to make sure you plant them right side up. Tulip bulbs are shaped like onions, so it's easy to find the top. Pull back the dirt with a trowel and shove the bulbs as deep as you can. That's all there is to it. Next, add your flowers. Around here, pansies are about the only things that you plant for the winter, but they come in just about any color you can think of. I like to mix the colors randomly, but you can make whatever pattern you want. When you go to plant the flowers, make sure you rough up the root ball. This will help the roots spread out and grow into the dirt around them. Now plant the flowers. You can do this with just your bare hands. To protect the flowers from aphids and other insects, sprinkle a granular insecticide called Merit. You can do this after you've barked the bed, but it's really poisonous, so if you have kids or pets, you'll want it under the bark. Now water the bed really well so it soaks in. I recommend using a watering wand because spray nozzles blast the flowers like a fire hose. Finally, cover the bed with a layer of bark to hold the water in and prevent erosion. I use bags of triple shredded pine mulch. Make sure to cover the sides of the bed well. The last step is to brush off any of the flowers that might have been buried by the bark in water one last time. And if you have any left over, you can always put them in pots on your deck. It's pretty much the same process and it adds a lot of color to your back deck. So there you go. The sooner you get those in, the more they'll have a chance to grow before they go dormant in the winter. I also planted some shrubs in my yard, but I'll get to that next week. For now, we'll wrap it up with a few quick movie reviews. Last week's episode came out on October 30th, so I'm just now able to share my thoughts on the movie I watched on Halloween night, which was Cabin in the Woods, and holy crap, that was a great movie. They take all the lazy, half-assed ideas horror movies tend to lean on, and just turn them into something really interesting. I really liked the whole premise, and in the hands of less talented people, it could have ended up being a really stupid gimmick, but here they really dive in and commit to it. The movie's a bit too hip and snarky for its own good, but in the end it's still a hell of a lot of fun, so I definitely recommend it. While we're wrapping up my foray into the horror genre, I need to give a shout out to Slither, which was another great modern horror movie. I saw this for the first episode, but left it out because I already had too many movies to talk about, and then I just forgot about it until now, my bad. But you should definitely check that one out. That one's also pretty badass. Stupid dog. The third movie I saw this week was Transsiberian, and this one's a bit more of a mixed bag. The first half of the movie takes its time setting up the characters in a way that really interested me, but as soon as the plot twist started kicking in and things started to go wrong, it just turned into a really big mess. A lot of stupid decisions from characters and a lot of really stupid coincidences. And if I ever just stumble out the back door of a moving train like the main character does in this movie, just let me fall, because that's what my dumbass deserves, alright? In the end, there's a lot of good stuff here, but I don't know that I can recommend it. All I can say is that keep your expectations low and you might enjoy it. Another movie that didn't quite meet my expectations but was still really good was Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. I mean, is it funny? Yeah. But is it Holy Grail funny? Not quite, but then what is, you know? Biggest problem with this is that a lot of the sketches, particularly in the first half, really drag on too long, but there's still a lot of really inspired stuff here. I mean, at the end of the day, you already know if you want to see a Monty Python movie or not, so just go watch it. Finally, I watched The Adventures of Tintin last night, and it was a pretty big letdown, actually. I expected more from Steven Spielberg. The tone of the movie is all over the place. Like, there's one really serious scene early on in the movie where a character gets gunned down in the street, but then by the end, there's this silly, goofy, slapstick motorcycle chase through the city while everything's collapsing, and it's just this one long 5-minute shot that spins around everything, and it's just annoying. I mean, yes, you have a really powerful computer, I get it. But I digress. At the end of the day, Tintin is a pretty minor adventure movie that might set up some better movies in the future, but on its own, it's pretty underwhelming. You kids might like it, though. But that's it for this week. I think it came together pretty well, and I've already got some good stuff lined up for next time. So, until then, keep it real, and I'll see you later.